All right, good day. Today's total body fitness is spine strengthening and mobility. So you will need some weights. You'll also need a loop band for around your legs. A fabric one is preferred. We'll also use small Pilates ball and a large stability ball if you have them. We'll only spend a couple exercises on those items. So if you don't have them, that's okay. You can just skip it and wait for the next exercise. All right, guys, let's do some shaking warm up just to get the lymph system moving and to get the blood flowing. So we're gonna start just shaking the arms. And then we're gonna kind of bounce the heels. And then we're gonna shake the legs. So I'm gonna keep my feet on the ground and kind of run, like pretend I'm running really, really fast. But my legs are just going and shaking and jiggling everything. And then relax that and just walk around a little bit in your space, whether you're moving forward or backwards or sideways, just to kind of move around. All right, we're gonna take some shoulder shrugs, so shoulders go up and down. And then we're gonna circle the wrist. And then we're gonna turn the head right and left, but what I'm gonna ask you to do is grab a hold of the back of your neck area, kind of the trap area, and you're gonna gently pull on that forward. And as you're pulling on that forward, you're gonna turn your head right and left. When the fingers come off, you'll switch to the other side. Just grab a hold and then gently pull forward, giving yourself a mini massage. And release. Let's go a little bit bigger with those shoulders. So you're gonna bring the elbows into circles. And then reverse. And then we're gonna just let those arms plop on the body as you twist. So a very small twist. It's more about just letting the arms release and create a little actual compression, bounce off the body. And then we're going to do a little marching in place to start moving through the hips, the knees, and the ankles. Gonna pick the knees up a little higher, so move a little slower. Start to feel them work. Just don't go through the motion of just picking up the legs high and relaxing. Feel the strength and the power through your hip flexors, your thighs. And then we're gonna do a couple of hip hinges. So your feet are gonna be shoulder width apart. Your toes will be more forward than they will be open. Your knees will be soft. Your spine will stay straight and flat. I like the first couple to have my hands pressed onto my legs. So you want to think flat back as if you're in a body cast, and then rise back up. The other cue I like to give for this is feel like, if you were to sit on a chair, that part that you sit on, you're trying to point that to the wall behind you. So I'm going to point that in that direction and come back up. Let's do one more. And then just kick out the legs, shake them out. We're going to move the hips side to side, so go back to that wide stance, and you're just going to move the hips without changing the leg positions. And I'm moving my hips, trying to keep my head in place. You might get a little stretch in here. If you don't, you can always go a little bit wider with the legs, then you might get a little bit more into that inner groin adducting area. We're also starting to work into the lower back in the QL. As you can see, one hip is coming higher to the rib. This is a hip hike, but we haven't actually used those muscles to contract yet. We are just working on the mobility to then do those hip hikes. And then bring it all together and shake it up. Okay, we're going to go back to the neck. We're going to tip the head to the right, come to center, and then tip the head to the left. Let's go a couple more rounds on your pace. All right, we're going to actually start lying down on your back. So go ahead and make your way onto the floor. We are going to go down and up several times in our exercises today. So if you need something to be near you to help you get up and down, please grab something nearby. Your knees will be bent, your feet on the floor. You're going to do a little pelvic tilt using your abdominals. Leave your legs and your hips out of it. You're going to slowly press your lower back towards the floor, feeling your abdominals contract, and then you'll relax. You'll contract and relax, contract and relax. And now you're going to reach the arms straight up towards the ceiling, and then you're going to let the shoulders come back to the mat. You're going to gently press those shoulders into the floor. You're going to press your abdominals into the floor as well, just like you were doing a minute ago, or a second ago, I guess. And then you're going to lift a leg 2 inches off the floor, not too high, and then lower down, and then switch, lifting the other foot 2 inches off the floor and lower down. I want you to feel the arms are up there because I'm just looking for you to contract those muscles in your upper back versus just being passive and not working those muscles. So reaching up, feel a contraction in the upper back, and then you're going to move one leg at a time, keeping your abdominals in the same contracted position. So you shouldn't feel your abs contract and then relax. They should stay on the whole time. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Keeping the arms where they are, you're going to lift your hips into bridge. So you're going to contract your abs, you're going to start to squeeze your glutes, and you're going to power through your feet to lift your hips. Legs are working, hips are working, and your core is still a little bit engaged. And then lower down. You're going to bring your right knee into your chest to your degree. Go ahead and do a little bit of a pull in. Just don't overstretch. Extend your left leg out flat onto the floor. Flex your feet. This is wind removing pose. And then change sides. Pull the knee in, grab a hold and gently pull in and extend. And then bring both legs in. You're going to open those knees and grab toward your ankles, looking for a little inner thigh release. And then bring your feet back down onto the floor. We're going to contract the abs again, and now we're going to let one leg roll out to the side, and you're going to bring it back in. You're trying to keep the leg straight up position from moving, and then you're going to bring that right leg back in, and then you're going to keep your right leg steady, and you're going to let your left leg fall out to the side. Not let your hip come up. Don't let yourself roll over, and try not to let that top leg move. Then you'll bring that leg back in. So I want you to move at your own pace. If you need a little light touch with your fingertips so that you can really feel that this one leg is not moving, that's okay. Otherwise, we can go back up and reach the arms up overhead. You can even take them a little bit further overhead to intensify and keep working some of these muscles in the shoulder, just trying to get them active. Your abs, you're going to contract through the abs, and then you're going to relax the leg as you let it kind of come open, and then you close it back in, trying to stay steady through the spine. You're going to go very, very slow, and you're only going as far as you can go. If you get any pinching in your hip, you want to stop short of that pinch. So if you can go all the way, that's fine. But if you get a pinch, slow it up and go less. So it's kind of interesting, all the exercises that we've done so far are basically easy warm-ups, but they're also designed to align pelvis inconsistencies, whether you've got a little rotation or you've got a little tilt any which way. We're just trying to get everything squared up as best we can. One more, finish out the side to make yourself even. Then you're going to bring your hands down by your hips. We're going to go into bridge, but I want your palms to be up now. Palms up, nice long neck, so pull those shoulders away from your ears. Bring your feet in so you feel nice and strong. Abs contract to press your lower back towards the floor, and then use your butt to lift your hips. Push a little bit into those shoulders, that way you're working the upper back. Re-engage the core, pulling the belly button towards the spine or up towards your ribs. And then lower back down. Extending your right leg out, left leg will extend out as well, and flex your feet. At this point, we're going to tuck the chin like you're looking down your shirt, and you're going to lift your head, look for your toes. And then you're going to lower your head back down. We'll try that 2 more times. So your toes are flexed, legs are straight and strong. You're going to tuck your chin like you're looking down your shirt, and you're going to lift your head. Don't lift too high. We're not trying to go really far forward. We're lifting just enough to lower back down. I could go higher with my head, but I'm trying not to overstretch the back of my neck, and I'm also trying not to work on forward head posture. Right now we're just working a little bit on the neck muscles here, and you'll feel your core work as soon as your head lifts. Again, tucking the chin and lift the head. You feel that engagement through the core and lower down. Nice job. We're going to move on to hands and knees. So flip yourself over. Before we do any strengthening, we're just going to move the spine around, doing some cat and cows and wag the tails. So I'd like to start with a little bit of the extension and flexion in the cat and cow. Don't worry about necessarily the breathing work unless that just naturally comes to you. But we're just looking to create a little bit of a movement. If you feel a stretch, stop there. Don't keep pushing even more. Just let yourself get to a comfortable position. And then coming to center, you're going to wag the tail. You're going to move your hips right and left, and you're going to feel more of a stretch on each side. Now the hip should be coming closer to the rib on one side and longer on the other. This is also a hip hike. So we're going to be doing quite a few hip hikes today in different positions. And then let's take a stretch back in child's pose. So bring your hips back towards your heels, stretch your arms out if that feels good. Otherwise, you can come onto your elbows. I'd also like you to let your head rest down for a moment and take a couple of breaths. Alrighty, back onto hands and knees. We're going to extend the right leg back behind you. Keep the toe down on the ground and gently press back, getting a calf stretch. Then shift your weight forward, getting back onto your knee. Your arms are going to stay straight and your core super strong. You're going to tighten up that right leg and squeeze your glute to lift your leg. Use your butt to lift and try not to use your hamstring. Make sure your hips stay parallel to the floor and that you don't overlift, opening up the hip. Abs are on. And release. Extend your left foot back, keep the toe on the ground, and do a gentle stretch back through the calf and ankle. And then coming back up to center, you're going to just tighten the leg, tighten the glute, keep the hip down, core is engaged, and lift the leg. See if you can stay centered. And release. We're going to come down to the elbows and we're going to walk the knees back a little bit to go into our first modified plank. Modified plank is here. You're going to tuck your tailbone under by squeezing your butt. Squeezing your butt tucks you under. Then you can move yourself a little more forward or a little bit more back with your knees to get yourself into the strongest position for you, modified on your knees. Keep contracting those abs. Four, three, two, and one. Nice. You're going to lie down onto your side. You're going to bend your bottom knee and you're going to keep your left leg up. You're going to do a hip hike here. So you're going to try to bring your hip up towards your ribs and then pushing your leg away. So another way I like to say this is you're going to make your leg shorter and then longer. I'm not lifting my leg to do it. I'm going to try to keep it in the same general area. And you're going to lift the hip towards the ribs and then making the leg short, pulling up through here. And then I'm going to try to make my leg long, stretching through here. Now this would be where if you have a small ball, it will give you a little bit of feedback. So I will get my ball really quick so I can show you what I mean. If you don't, that's okay. You can still do it without. Or a foam roller. Foam roller also works here. So you can lie and put the foot there. That way when you're doing the hip hike, you know your foot stays in contact and it's not rising and lowering on you. I'm trying to work the lower back muscles and the side obliques. So the muscles that connect from your lowest ribs to your hips is what we're working. There's really no bones other than your spine in that area. And so the stronger we can have those muscles, the better your back health will be. Want to get this till you feel a fatigue, right? Pretty good fatigue. It's going to be pretty many reps here. Alrighty, we're going to take a quick stretch. We're doing a little Pac-Man move. So you're going to bring your bottom arm out in front of you, the palm up. Your top hand is going to slide forward and it's going to go as far forward as you can go, where you actually start to look down towards the ground. And then you'll slide the hand back. Now from here, you're going to put the head, back of the head onto the floor, and you're going to slide the hand up your arm, across your chest, and opening only as far as you can open. You can even turn your head here away from your front hand. And then bring that hand back over and slide down, finishing in this forward position. All right, let's switch sides. So setting up for your hip hikes. So your bottom leg is bent, your top leg is straight. It's about hip height. And then you're going to try to lift, make that leg shorter, and then make that leg longer by using your side oblique. Your QL muscles, your lower back. You might even be using a little bit of glute, especially if you were holding the leg up and not using a ball. It is somewhat easier if you've got some sort of foam roller or something to give you that sense of where your foot is at in the space. I have found that other side was way easier, more coordinated to do. This side for me is definitely harder. I feel awkward. It might even look awkward, more my body might be moving. It's an imbalance. And that's part of what we're working today, is getting ourselves as balanced as we can possibly be through our hips and our core center, so that if we have other ailments, those ailments might actually get better because the imbalance is better. Remember to keep your top leg straight. I'm making it shorter, but I'm not bending the knee shorter. I'm definitely keeping it straight and locked, and I'm trying to work through this hip. Such a simple move is sometimes not that simple to do. Alrighty, let's go ahead and go into that spinal twist now. So position yourself so your knees are out in front of you 90 degrees. Your bottom arm is reaching out as well. Top hand is going to come into like a Pac-Man or clamshell type. Then you're going to reach it forward and turn your head, look down. And then you're going to start to slide back. You're going to keep your hand on your arm, bring the back of the head to the floor, and then slowly keep the hand attached. Slowly start twisting as far as you can go. And maybe you'll notice the difference between sides. This side for me that was more awkward is definitely more restricted in the spinal twist than the other side. And maybe you'll notice something similar. And then bend your elbow, bring it back. We're going to slide back forward to that Pac-Man with the face going down towards the mat. And then come back up. We're going to stand back up. You need to do a couple of cat and cows. I'm going to do a downward facing dog. You're welcome to join me in that down dog. You can pedal the feet if that would feel good. Then you're going to make your way to standing. All right, we are going to move into the shoulders. We're doing some straight arm raises forward and to the side. So grab the appropriate weights. If you happen to have a chair or happen to have a stability ball, I also like to do these on a ball or seated for the fact that your core definitely has to work. Because if you're standing, you've got your legs and your glutes to help you to power up the arms to lift. But if you're in a seated position, you sit up really tall, abs feel like you're pulling in a little bit like you've got a pair of pants to zip up. And then you're going to work your arms. We're going to go out to the side and forward. We're going to do both. So you can either start forward and then side, or you can start side and forward, and we're going to alternate just like that. Your palm position can be wherever it's most comfortable. I did palms down, and then when I went forward, I had palms facing each other. If you'd rather do palms down on all of it, that's fine. If you'd rather do palms forward, that works as well. It's just finding the most comfortable position for you. If the weight you have is too heavy, you can always bend the elbows a little bit and do a lesser range of motion, or no weight at all and still trying to get the work in. All right, guys, let's do it. Do 12. That will be 6 and 6 forward and side. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Next, we're going to do a set of bicep curls. So change out your weights to make that appropriate. We will do 10 of those. So grab the heaviest weights that you can do 10 bicep curls. Palms forward. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. So next we're going to do a wall sit. Wall sit is actually really more of a thigh exercise, but we're going to make it into a spine and ab exercise. How you're going to perform this is if you happen to have a stability ball, great, or even the small Pilates ball will actually help as well. But if you have neither, you can wall sit without it. You're going to start with it in your lower back region, and you want your feet out in front of you just a little bit here. Now, the first thing I'm going to think of doing is trying to keep my shoulders up like they're pushing back against that wall, not a back bend, just keeping upright, but my abs are also pulling in. I'm going to then bend my knees and come down, and I'm going to keep pulling my abs in, even doing a little pelvic tilt here. Pushing against the ball, up, abs on, thighs on. You can reach the arms forward if you want to work those shoulders. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rise up and take a break. We're going to do it again. This time, if you want to grab your weights, you can grab your weights. All right, here we go. Coming into your wall sit. Remember, belly on, sitting in an invisible chair, and we hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You probably felt your thighs doing a lot of work, but I hope you were really focusing on doing an abdominal crunch without affecting your spine. Let's try one more time. Really give this a good squeeze through your center. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. So I don't know if you were able to see, but throughout that, I actually moved my arms to the side and moved them up. It's also an option for you next time you try your wall sit. All right, next we're going to go into a standing hip hike. So I'd like you to hold on to something, and you're going to think of bringing the hip, making that leg shorter and longer. Shorter and longer, kind of like you did lying down on your side, but now you're standing up. We're going to lift. 1, 2, try not to kick the leg out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice. You're going to need one weight on the floor. We're coming back. We're going to do some side plank work. So I've got my 3, but you could probably do this with a 5 if you're really strong. I'm gonna come into side plank. Now the side plank is up to you. You can be on your elbow or on your hand, you can be on your knees. But what I'm looking for is we're gonna do some work with this arm, working the back of the shoulder, and we're also working this core, making the spine stronger. Because when you're lifted in side plank and you're just holding it, that's one thing. But if I then said move your arm forward without twisting, it's going to become harder to maintain without the twist. And that's what you're going to look to do. With the weight, bringing that weight forward and back will make it harder for your core to resist the twist, okay? Now you can do it without the weight. You can stay on the hip, but that's not quite as good. If you can lift the hip. If you can do this with a staggered foot or even stacked feet, that's the super hard one, stacked feet. I'm gonna go ahead and do, actually I think I'll do it with a staggered foot on the elbow, hips will come up and the arm will come up. So then I'm gonna bring the arm forward and we're gonna try to maintain right here, okay? Holding it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Yes? Other side. Getting in position, lift the hip. Arm is up to start, and then you'll bring it forward till it is super hard to hold, which it should be right about even with your shoulder. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent. We're gonna do a bird dog. You're gonna have an option for weight. You're gonna start with your right leg, extend it back and lift. But when you lift, don't let your hips come up. Keep those hips level. What does that mean? That means your abs have to be super strong. What you're gonna do with your weight is you're gonna put it in your left hand and you're gonna bring it out to the side like an airplane wing. All right, guys, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Other side. Extending the leg. Abs are on. Arm will reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take a quick stretch. Let's go back to a wag the tail, moving the hips from side to side, bringing the hip higher towards the rib. And then back to the cat and cow. Maybe getting a little bit more range now. All right, we're gonna come onto our backs and you're gonna need your band for around your legs. Okay, we're gonna do the dead bug, but it's gonna be banded. So you're not gonna be able to extend your leg quite as far. And the other thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for the knees to be as pulled into your chest as possible. Normally on a dead bug, you're lying down and your knees are stacked, your arms are up, and you do opposite leg, opposite arm, and you extend like this, right? But with the band, if you have a band, you're gonna pull those knees in, you're gonna try to maintain one leg in and push the other leg away. You notice my legs are not gonna get straight there because I've got the band, it's a really hard band. My job though is to keep this knee pulling in as I push away. If you don't have a band, you can just push on the leg with 2 hands and try to extend the leg away. You're pushing against your leg here. The band, though, is doing the work for you. So if you wanted to relax your arms and your shoulders from all the shoulder work we did, you can do. You don't have to use your arms anymore. All right, guys, here we go. Pull the knees in, push a leg away, and switch. And switch. Let's go a couple more rounds. Nice holds. Switch. Hold. Switch. And switch. One more. Hold this last one. And release. Go ahead and take your band off. And you're going to open up your legs and you're going to roll those knees from side to side, doing a windshield wiper. And then heel toe the feet together. You're going to open up the knees wide, getting a stretch now in those inner groins that you just worked. You can reach the arms up overhead as well. And bring the arms back down and assist your legs back into your chest. From here, either happy baby or what I call the happiest baby, which is a little easier to do. You're going to open up the feet, grab for your feet or ankles, pulling the feet in towards your chest. And release. All right, guys, make your way up to seated. Thanks for coming.